Hey guys, welcome to a new Delta Force video. We got some new content in the alpha. Content in an alpha. Who thought this was possible? More content is coming on Friday for both of the available modes. And we got a new Q&A with the game director Shadow where he answers some more questions. So we're gonna go through all of this in the video and we're gonna start with the new content. So first of all, we got a new operator called Uluru, and he is another support operator, and he was actually in the mobile version already, and I was talking about it, I think, in one of my former videos where I was comparing the operators between Delta Force and Battlefield. And what he can do is, first of all, he's more resilient against EMP and Shepard's paralysis. There's nothing going on right here. But he is definitely more resilient against this and less affected by all of this. That's his passive ability. Then one of his active abilities is that you can throw this cover right here that slowly builds up, which is actually pretty cool, but it is destroyed pretty fast with explosives. And he also has a special grenade, which is an incendiary grenade that also destroys the cover. But it's also pretty effective against infantry. Not so much against vehicles though. But what's actually pretty cool is his ultimate, or however you want to call it, and this is the TV guided missile. Very reminiscent of Liz in Battlefield 2042, but works a little bit different. The controls are as clunky as they are in 2042. I hope they refine them over time. But what it actually does is first of all, you can fire it from the hip or aim down sight. And when you aim down sight, you can control it manually and then fire it mainly at infantry. And you can speed it up last second. And what it does is that it actually explodes into 4 rockets. And you saw that here. And then it deals more damage. So you can fire it behind cover where enemies are or in a tunnel. And then it will explode into 4 more rockets, and they explode separately. So you can really deal a lot of damage right there. Against infantry though, against vehicles, at least ground vehicles, not really useful. I didn't manage to hit a helicopter with it yet at least. So I can't tell if it's effective against helis, but against ground vehicles, it deals little to no damage. Like, really most effective against infantry. Not sure that's the way it should be, because as an engineer, which is the class of this operator, I think it should deal more damage against vehicles than it does against infantry. But it is an alpha, so maybe they change it over time or refine it in a later version of the game. And what we got as well are actually 2 new events right here. That one, Battle Elite, was added during the weekend already. And this will give you more missions for Havoc Warfare. It's simple missions again, like win 3 Havoc Warfare matches or deal 200 damage with an AT4. And these refresh every 2 days, I think. I think it was 2 days. And you can claim more of those premium weapon XP tokens with it. And at the end, when you get it to 1000 of these energy, whatever it is, battle reward, then you will get this snow camouflage for the LAV. And the other one we have is the Hawk Intel. And this is for both tactical turmoil, or hazard operations, actually, what it should be called, and Havoc Warfare. And this one refreshes every 24 hours. And so every 24 hours you have new missions here. And it will run until August 27th. So there is enough time actually to get these 1100 points for the M4A1 skin. And missions are pretty much the same. Kill 20 enemies in Havoc Warfare, for example, or win 1 match and deal 1000 damage. So pretty easy stuff. And what you will get on the way to this weapon skin is another vehicle skin for the IFV and a lot of rewards that you can use in either Havoc Warfare or hazard operations. But there was only what was added today. Here's another overview that they posted on Twitter. And here you can see the operator again and the events. And what we'll get on Friday, on August 16th, is a new mode for Havoc Warfare, which is called King of the Hill. And we also get a new map for hazard operations that is called Space City. And then we also got the Q&A where game director Shadow answered some more questions over on on Twitch, and that whole thing is almost 2 hours long. They answer a few questions, they play a bit of the game, and I just break down the most important parts for you here in this video. If you want to watch that whole thing, you can find the link to it in the description below as usual. And the first info we got there in this Q&A was that the alpha will run until early September. And I think this is maybe September 3rd, because they said the first week of September, which means we have around 4 weeks of this alpha in sum. And that's quite some time of testing and gathering feedback, so I hope they can improve the game based on this. And it also means that more and more players will get access to the game during this time, because they will keep sending more invites through their website and through Steam, and also more Twitch drops and giveaways and so on. So if you don't have access yet, don't lose patience. There is still a chance to get access. Another question they answered was if there will be any pay-to-win mechanics in the final game, because I think this is really important for a lot of players. Basically for all players, I think. And they had answered this question before in an earlier Q&A, and also answered it again in the same way. There will be microtransactions, of course, because it's a free-to-play game and they have to earn money somehow, but they will be focused solely on cosmetic items. So weapon skins, operator skins, vehicle skins, whatever, and there won't be any ways you can pay for gameplay altering content. There was also a question asking if they only made operators to sell cosmetic items, which I heard a lot as well. And their main reason for the operators, what they said, was to give players more strategic freedom and more choices in their abilities than you would have in a traditional class system. But of course, operators will also receive cosmetics in the future. However, they also promised that these operator skins will stay in the style the game has right now, so military. And they literally said that they do like Nicki Minaj, but she won't come to the game. So a little hint at Call of Duty there and some of their crazy cosmetics, and also that Delta Force will not go this way, but wants to keep it more military and also wants to stay true to the identity of the franchise. Moving on, they also plan to bring proximity chat to the game, which is what a lot of people were asking for, especially in Havoc Warfare. And yes, they will bring it to Havoc Warfare, but not to Hazard Operations. The reason for this is that because this is an extraction mode and they don't want you to accidentally give away your position when proximity chat is enabled. So at least for now, they don't want to bring it to Hazard Operations. What we will see in the future as well in Havoc Warfare is a feature to change your loadout during a match, and not only in the main menu. Right now you have to create your loadouts before getting into a match, and when you don't like the setup, you can't change it during the match. Or when you take your time creating your loadout, but you are in a party, everyone else has to wait for you. So this is something that will be different in the future. They also did confirm that there are bots in the game in every match of Havoc Warfare right now, but they are looking into reducing the numbers when more players get access to the game. So right now they're aiming for short matchmaking times so people can play, but this also means that depending on your region and time of the day, you might have more or less AI in your match. Then there will also be jets coming to the game later on in Havoc Warfare, of course, so we won't have to stick to helicopters only. And private matches that you can create to try things out, or just play with your friends or against your friends, or make thumbnails if you're a content creator, or whatever you want to do there. This will be an option as well in the future. We will also see a lot more maps and modes coming to Havoc Warfare, of course, with the final release. The maps will also have different settings. Some will be more focused on combined arms with infantry and vehicles and be a bit more open, probably like the Ascension map that we have right now, while others will have more infantry and close combat focus, like the, how is it called, Disruption something, that urban combat map that we have right now. I can't remember how the name was. They will also add more destruction to the game, which is pretty cool actually, because it's lacking a bit right now. It's not something I really miss a lot, but it's just when you compare the games, Battlefield and Delta Force, you see that Delta Force has significantly less destruction than Battlefield, but then again, I do not really miss it right now, and certain structures that should be destructible are destructible already, but there will be more in the future, and they will also refine the sound design to make it more immersive, whatever that means. And overall, they want the game to stay true to the Delta Force franchise and not be completely disconnected from it, even though they go a different path with the operators already. As for hazard operations, they also added that there will be solos and duos coming as well, but they won't be permanently, they will only come in form of timed events. They also gave us a little look behind the scenes, saying that they have already finished work on seasons 1 to 3 for the game, and that they now go into post-production for season 4. So they're really ahead of everything here and definitely want to deliver a good live service with new maps, new modes, new operators, time-limited events, and so on. And that were basically the most important points of the Q&A. Sounds pretty good so far. Let's see how it will play when we get our hands on it as players. There were no news, however, about a beta or about console testing so far. Hopefully this will be part of maybe the next Q&A. But that was it from me for today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like or comment below, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm the Catwoman, and you are awesome.